It's hard. It's beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about something very important. That is secret keeping in relationship. Now, a lot of people believe it's better to keep some things hidden, some secrets, if it's going to affect your partner. But let me take it from a masculine side. Do men really want to hear the secret of women? Like what they hide behind closed doors? Do they really want to hear? Can they actually face that truth when it comes out?
Great question. I would like to start by saying maturity is not age. Maturity is more about your experience in handling challenges that come your way. And most times, I've come to realize that when it comes to marriage, when it comes to managing, especially past, you know, a woman's value is determined by her past. A man's value is by her future, and that's why by his future rather, and that's why a lady may agree to marry a man that has a promising future, probably because of, even when he just graduated, because he graduated with 2-1, he communicates very well with her, because she believes in the future. But most times men tend to define a lady's value based on her past, because if you've had reasons to date too many people, it does not make it right, but we have to understand the psychology of how people think. Yeah. So if a man will look at someone that's dated several people, a lady has dated several guys, and want to feel like he will be in competition
with
those guys, because ladies tend to sometimes chip in words like, my ex does this, my ex does it, indirectly judging. So most times men like women that do not probably have a horrible past. So that is how they define value. So can men actually handle these things? One, depends on 3 things. The first being, what other things does the woman bring to the table? Most times when the relationship is defined by sex, and that's probably the only thing the lady brings to the table, men don't know how to handle horrible parts, because the next interpretation in his mindset is, whatever you bring to the table is what I can get anywhere. And so that's why you see that they begin to overreact. So the first thing is, what else does the person bring to the table? That defines if the man will be able to handle horrible past. The second thing again is, how much do the man have people he looks up to that can call him to order? In this 21st century, most men hate mentorship. They don't like to submit. They don't like someone that can actually call them to order. And it's very dangerous when a lady dates someone like that. Irrespective of how that person is working or how things is working out for you both, there will be humans. There will be reasons to step on each other's toe, and that you don't have someone that can call him to order or that can call you to order, then the relationship is sitting on the gunpowder. So that's the second. And the last part is what I call trauma. Sometimes trauma itself, coming from what the guy's parents have gone through, his previous relationship, things in the family that seem to be reoccurring. If whatever springs up from that lady happens to tally with any of these 3 things, it triggers the trauma from the past, and people find it difficult to heal. And that's why those 3 things looks like why men cannot handle a woman's horrible past. But what is the way forward? The way forward is, there are certain questions you should be asking. I always advise ladies that, see, once your social media is filled with things, you posted pictures, you are posting pictures of expensive eateries you have eaten, and it does not align with what you earn. It does not align with your income. Indirectly, a sensible guy knows that you are going out with different people. He may not say it. He just wants to have his stay and he will leave. So there are things that women do also that they don't know, that sensible men know how to really connect the dots. So I always advise, once you know that, I don't encourage women going into rubbish, but once you know you want to settle down, clear your social media. Very, very important. It must define who you are. So it does not matter then if anyone brings something that's no longer on your social media, it's easier for you to say that was my past. I never thought it was important to talk about it, but please judge me from when you know me. But someone tells him something and he scrolls and you have proof on your social media and it is still there. It shows that you want to keep those memories. And it's a trigger.
And you don't want to let it go.
I don't want to let it go. So it's a trigger. It's a trigger. So going forward, once anything that you know does not align with your person anymore, clear them off your social media. Number 2, always take time to talk about how you want your differences handled. People don't do that. They get too carried away with the relationship flavor that they don't talk about how to handle conflict. Babe, when I do something that gets you angry, do you want 10 minutes to yourself, or do you want me to talk to you about it immediately, or how do you want us to? Most people don't ever get to that. They don't think about that until they get that bridge, and most times they can't even cross it. They can't even talk
it becomes an issue where they have to probably break up.
Because these are things you should talk about before issues even come up. How do you take for instance, I'm a very hot-tempered person, but my wife is on the opposite side. So sadly, because when I'm angry, I love to talk about it, and that's all. But because my wife does not like, she's an introvert, when I express myself before we started talking about all of these things, those words I say hurt her the more, and she does not even want to talk anymore. Until you say, okay, how do you want me to express myself? Okay, how do you want to express yourself once you're angry? So, after a few hours, don't worry, I'll talk about it. I know that after a few hours. So most times I was angry what you did very early this morning. Can we talk about this? No, please, let's talk about it when we're home. I'm fine. Once I'm home, I start it up. You said once I'm home, we should talk about it. So let's talk about it. But I want to always thrash out
what the issue is,
whatever the issue is at that moment. But it was almost ruining things until we had to settle that before we got married. So people may think from afar that we don't have issues, but because we have talked about how to handle the issues when they come up. So sometimes when we have conflict on how children should do certain things, I know that should talk about this now. I just let's talk about it when I'm done cooking. I already understand that's when she wants to talk about it.
And that's it. Okay. All right. Let me ask you, Apostle, from a woman's angle now, do you think women love to hear about men's past? And also, even if they share their past, do you think most women are ready to handle the truth?
This issue of keeping secrets, whether it's right or wrong, keeping issues, if you are discussing it, is a very complex matter. That's keeping secrets. It's a complex matter and very sensitive. If I say it's right to keep secrets, I may be wrong. And if I said it's wrong to keep secrets, I may also be wrong, depending on depending on what and how, who is involved. Now, everybody have their secrets, and secrets, we have different kinds of secrets, maybe personal secrets, as a result of the past experience one have. We also have financial secrets. You see a lot of men, a lot of women keeping their financial secret. They don't want people to know, or their spouse, their partner to know that they have so amount of money, or this is the amount they are earning, or this is the debt they are even owing. And why people keep secrets, from my own understanding, is to avoid being hurt and being misunderstood. You know, there are people that really handle when you open up to them, because when in relationship, openness is the key. If the two parties are not open to themselves, I don't think that the relationship will last or bring out something that is better. But some men, when you open up to them, like my brother rightly said, if you open up to them and doesn't have the capacity to take it, and women actually, some people will say women love keeping secrets, but not really. The reason is because how will my man see me at the end of discussing my past experience? And you know, there are some behavioral secrets people keep. Maybe you are addicted to some certain things, like in the side of the man. Some men are into like what we discussed last week, Bet Niger, all these gambling. this and that. So by the time you say, okay, I have pretend so much, I don't want to let this woman know that this is what I'm into, this is what is eating my money, because I don't want to lose her. One of the reasons why they don't want to share secrets, because they don't want to lose the relationship. But at the end of the day, you will still find out that people lose relationship because their secret is being discovered. So I don't really support keeping secrets, because when you are keeping secrets, you are dying. When you are not open, you are hiding so many things, you cannot live your normal life. It's like you have a dual face. You have dual entity. You are not going to be yourself in any aspect. So it is good for you to share your past experience. If the people love you, let him know you for who you are. But make sure that you have changed. If your past experiences are very odd, you have to make up your mind and decide to move forward, because as he said that men look at what women should look at what the men have to present the future, what in the future to come, why women men look at the past. So I believe looking at the future matters a lot more, because everybody have a past. Everybody have a past. Okay. And if you hold on people's past, you can never get the best out of them.
Okay, this secret keeping actually came because I actually saw a trend where a man says, I know many runs girls who married their clients. Like, he said, real men do not care about your past. That is what the man said. So I'm going to try as much as possible to read his storyline. Now, a Nigerian man has asserted that men are attracted to bad girls and don't care about a woman's past. He said there is a man for every woman, and I can tell you categorically that men these days are attracted to the bad girls. You know, many of you girls have done an ashebi one time or the other for somebody who you considered wild at some point, and you will even be hearing whispers and murmur during the wedding that the man has finally married the girl. And he said, I know many girls who married their clients. He mentioned the name Olivia, who trended for the ashebi gown she wore to her friend's wedding. As naughty as wild as that girl is, there are men who would do anything to put a ring on her finger. Now, he said there is really no formula to life. A girl who is aborted 5 times can marry and still deliver children, while you that is a virgin will be looking for the fruit of the womb even for 600 years. He said a retired prostitute can still have a happy home while you wear the Lord's chosen. Oh Lord, I didn't read this. Lord's chosen apron. I'm sorry, Lord chosen have to come into this, and will be crying in marriage. Now, to sum up everything, he said, real men do not care about your past, only see your future. So keep doing you. Sisters, there's always a man out there for you if you want one. I think that's a very good advice, right?
Let me look at it from 3 perspectives.
Okay, now, very quickly, because we
number one,
next one.
Most of the men that fall into such categories have a good job and means of income, and do not have parents that lord their opinions on them. 35 years upward, they have what they want. Sadly, the disadvantage is that when they want to break up with such ladies, no one can interfere, because they know how to stand their ground to make sure that nobody interferes when they want to marry such people. And the opposite of it is that once their mind is made up to let go of such women, there is also nobody that can advocate for such. Okay. On the other hand, people that probably just let cool young givers that the parents saw through school, the parents are still helping out, the parents participated more in the finances of the wedding, they will do everything to dictate who the son wants to marry. So it is difficult for such men that have parents who have helped them all through that ladder, and those children have not even done anything in appreciation of what their parents have done, to wake up one day and say, Mom, I don't care about our past. This is what I did. Especially when the father is probably someone that was also a socialite, knows what he wants for the son. So that's why you see people in such bandits of breaking away, they always probably suffer financially because they have to detach themselves from their parents. Are you getting my analysis?
Yeah.
But those ones that can't say no to their parents will probably have to let go of the relationship. So it all comes with consequences. It does not now mean that anyone that probably I always tell my children that it is not at the point of marrying that you come to insist. You guys must have been friends and have reasons to keep coming home. It's not when you want to marry, come and introduce someone to your parents. That's the mistake this generation is making. Back then when we were growing up, our parents were very highly involved in the relationship of their children. But right now it is probably, you're at age between age 8 to 15. They will say beware of dogs, so men cannot come home to greet the daughters. Then once those small dogs, when the children now gain admission, those small dogs will become there and so wild that people cannot come to the house. And when it's now time for marriage, that's when the parents will now change and start asking and forcing those girls to bring their friends. So it is too late that all those symptoms when you have seen those people as friends and make all the observations and dissuade them because of friendship, you don't want to insist on what you want at the point of marriage. That's why most parents have conflicts like that. But to his point, see, there's no perfect formula for marriage. The most important thing is openness. A lady that had a very horrible past, now probably having a very big business, maybe big jewelry business, has, like I said earlier, has something else she has brought to the table. If a guy that is also working sees that this person is ready to split 50-50 bills with, the guy will stick his head. Some people will think it's because of something, but because the lady has something else she's bringing to the table in this financial time. So there's no perfect formula for marriage. There's no perfect formula for marriage, obviously. That's why everybody always tell you that what works for you might not work for me. True. Yes, I might not work for another person. It's just we're all born differently, different backgrounds. Even if we are related by blood, same sister, we are born twin. And we always definitely have reason different. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. I'm just going to ask a straight question, yes or no, with a very short response, because we have some training videos we want to attend to. So, but the first one I will ask you first: is loving a man Is loving a man more than he loves you, right? Like, is a woman loving a man more than the man loves her? Is it right? It's very risky. No. I always advise the opposite. Why? Two things. Men take advantage of such people. They see it as weakness. Most men, not all men, most men see it as weakness or see it as being too desperate to sit down. That's number one. Number two, another reason why it's more important guy to be the one on the loving side is that it's easier for him to, as a lady, you have different backgrounds, so it's easier for him to overlook your flaws because you are not flawless. It's easier for him to overlook your flaws when he's the one that is on the loving side than you. So it's easier for you to catch up because when he's the one that is on the loving side when you are starting up, with time when you begin to get pregnant, some of this will be dwindling. But if you started with you being a lover, you will be putting on too much effort and pressure to keep him with you. But once you're not, even if it's dwindling, it will to a balance with where you are. Apostle, you agree with him? I agree. I agree with him. Because when the woman is the one that's loved, you know that the man that is loveless will always be the one that is holding the relationship. And this can demoralize the woman. True. It can break down the woman at any time. True. But so many women, some women are so foolish that they don't think about their well-being, their emotional well-being. They don't think about their person. They only, I love this guy, I love this guy. Like there is one that my children was reporting. If this man always beat hell out of this girl, throw her on the street after sleeping with her. You have not paid her bride price. You don't know your parents. You just sleep with her. And when the lady offended, he will just beat her up, throw her on the street and say, go. And that same lady, after beating her, she will still be the one begging, I love you now. You now can see how some women, they call it love. To me, it's not love because your life is at stake. Okay.